the volume of a cone, find the volume of each cone and run to the nearest tenth if necessary. There are three different ways to look at this equation. Volume equals 1/3 capital B times H. Now, anytime you have a capital B in a formula, it means the area of the base. So since the base in a cone is circular, the area of a circle is pi r squared. So a second way to write this is 1/3 pi r squared H. But even simpler than that is to recognize that 1/3 just means divide by 3. So you have pi r squared H divided by 3. And that's actually, that last one is the one that I'll use. Let me explain why it's divided by 3. If you have a cylinder, you'll have to excuse me because I'm not artistic. Okay, say you have a cylinder. The volume of a cylinder, because it has a circular base, anytime you have a circular base, you have pi r squared, and then it also has a height. But if you were to put a cone inside that cylinder, that cone divides the cylinder into 3 pieces. So that's why you have to divide by 3. So for this one, the first thing I do is identify the parts that it gives me. And it helps to look at this little box here, because that's the two numbers that you're going to be dealing with. Now, the first thing you want to know is look at the circle. If they gave you the radius or the diameter is all the way across. The radius is halfway across. So in relation to my circle, they gave me halfway across. They gave me the radius. So the radius is 2. The other number, even though this is on its side, that 7 is the height. So I'm going to use the formula how I prefer to use it. V equals pi r squared H divided by 3, and just start plugging it in. Pi is 3.14. That's what we're going to use. The radius is 2. I'm going to square it. The height is 7 divided by 3. So you getting rid of the exponent, 3.14, that means 2 times 2, which is 4, times 7 divided by 3. When you figure that out, you get 29.3 miles. And because it's volume, you cube it. You cube the units, so miles cubed. Okay, the next one. Look at the circle first. They gave you all the way across. They gave you the diameter. And the height is the other one, the other line that's attached to this little box. But the formula doesn't use D, it uses R, it uses a radius. So we've got to get the radius, which all you do is take the diameter and cut it in half. So half of 18 is 9. So the formula is V equals pi r squared H divided by 3. So pi is 3.14. The radius is 9. Square that. The height is 18 divided by 3. So 9 squared is 9 times 9, that's 81. So 3.14 times 81 times 18 divided by 3. And when you calculate that, you get 1,526.0. It did have a decimal portion, but the direction says nearest tenth, so that's why I'm putting 0.0. And then it's miles cubed. Volume is cubed. And the next one, cone with a radius of 4 and the height of 12. You really, with this information, you don't need to have the diagram. The formula is volume equals pi r squared H divided by 3. So pi is 3.14. The radius 4. I'm going to square that. The height is 12, and I divide by 3. So 4 squared, 4 times 4 is 16. So 3.14 times 16 times 12 divided by 3. And when you do that, you get, let me show you about the rounding on this one. You get 200.96. We want the nearest tenth. So the number after that is larger than a 5, so you've got to add 1 to this. So to add 1 to 9, you have to make it a 10. So that goes away. So I've got 201.0 meters cubed.